Hi again, everybody. My name is Steve Hallstrom, President and Managing Partner at Flag Family Media Fieldstone Group, and we're back here again for another great time at Luther Family Ford. We get to do this each month, the Salute to Law Enforcement. I want to say thanks to Brian Mosier and his team here at Luther Ford for having us back here again. Good to see the team as always. We know you all are busy on these Monday mornings, so thanks for coming by. It's always great to see all of you. Brian, thanks for having us back over here again. Can you imagine we're halfway through the year already doing these salutes?
That's hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, sure is.
And it seems we're outnumbered today.
We are outnumbered today. It's great. Yeah.
And a new agency.
Yes.
Yep.
So we're changing things up just a little bit, but in a great way. We are glad to be welcoming a new agency into our rotation here today. We're honoring the North Dakota Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, which we have not been able to do before, but thanks to some good friends that have helped us connect on that, we're glad to have Dan Seymour, the program manager, and one of his great team members here today. So thanks to all of you for being here. It's great to see so many faces here with us at Luther Family Ford here today. All right, so with that being said, it's time to meet this month's honoree, and I'm happy to introduce to you this morning Parole Officer Sherrie Prochnow. Let's give a big hand to Sherrie, say congrats for her great work. All right, Sherrie, I'm sure you love this, being in front of everybody and us making a big deal out of you, but what does it mean to be honored by your colleagues here today?
I'm surprised, first of all, but really grateful that I was recognized. The first parole officer to be salute to law enforcement. So this is awesome.
Yeah, you have bragging rights for all time on this thing.
I do.
So yeah, great. Well, we're going to hear more and learn more about Sherrie here just in a moment. But let me tell you a little bit about her from the biography that the team at the Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation sent over. Parole Officer Sherrie Prochnow has worked as a parole and probation, I want to say parole and probation officer for the North Dakota Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation since 1997 as a sex offender specialist for the Fargo district. Sherrie specializes in supervising clients who have been convicted of sexual offenses or have had a past conviction for an offense that is sexual in nature. Sherrie has supervised many high-risk sex offenders in our community over the years and always puts our community's safety first when supervising these high-risk clients. Sherrie has not only held her clients accountable, but is always looking to help them succeed in our community as they transition off of supervision. Sherrie has been a member of the North Dakota Sex Offender Risk Assessment Committee since its inception by the North Dakota Attorney General's office and helps provide the committee with important information regarding sex offenders from our region. Sherrie is also one of the department's district firearms instructors, as well as a firearms armorer that helps train and qualify staff with their firearms throughout the year. Parole Officer Prochnow is married and has one son. All right, well, Sherrie, other than butchering parole and patrol a few times, that went okay, I think. Tell me a little bit about your career and getting into law enforcement the way you have done it. Did you always want to be in this business, or is it something kind of grew over you over the years?
Well, I went to NDSU and I took a criminal justice class, and it fascinated me. So then I changed my major to sociology with an emphasis in criminal justice, and I did like a AmeriCorps Vista internship with the North Dakota Department of Corrections and just got in with them, and I knew it was my route to go.
Now, why was this the route instead of being sheriffs or police officers or something like that? Why was this a particular niche that you thought would be best for you?
I think it was after I did that internship, I really enjoyed working with the individuals who were placed on probation. That was just the route I wanted to go then after that.
And the work you do, it's some pretty heavy stuff sometimes. How do you kind of compartmentalize that, put it away at the end of the day and go home to family and friends?
Yeah, with supervising the sex offender caseload, I literally have to keep it at the office and try not to think about it when I go home. Do a lot of other fun activities at home so I don't have to think about it.
Yeah, there you go. I thought it was particularly interesting, though, that you're talking about not only holding the clients accountable, but looking to help them succeed in our community, transitioning off supervision. That's really important, too, that we have to try to provide that kind of off-ramp and say, okay, let's get back and integrate in society. Talk a little bit about maybe the challenges but celebrations of that.
Yeah, a lot of people think that the sex offender caseload, which is the most difficult, caseload to house, finding jobs, things like that. But we work with them to the bitter end to try to get them to reunify back in the community as best they can. Yeah.
What is a typical day like for you? Are you out meeting with people all the time? Are you processing paperwork behind the scenes? What's a typical day?
We process a little paperwork. I meet with people in my office, or I do home visits. We'll go with the crew that's all here. We'll do searches, and if we need to, we go to court. It just depends on what day it is of the week.
I imagine with any job, you kind of just, some days you kind of show up, do your job, go home. But I'm guessing that there are times when it really hits you how important your job is to our community. Tell me a little bit about that.
When a big search comes up or something, we find out is there's some dangerous person in the community. It's really powerful to get the team together, and we go out and try to find the individuals. And if we need to arrest them, we'll arrest them and put them in custody.
Tell me what you would advise a young person coming into this profession. What kind of advice would you give them? Maybe some things that you've had to learn over time that you wouldn't have necessarily known getting started.
I don't know. I think this profession is wonderful. I would recommend anybody going into this profession.
Is it the challenge of the job? Is it doing something good for the community? What are your motivations day to day that makes you keep coming back and doing this important work that you do?
Every day is different, for sure. But I think just helping the people in the long run. I think helping them get back and be a member of society again.
Yeah, great. I'm going to wander over here and talk to Dan for a minute. Dan, thank you very much for being here and bringing your team over here as well. We maybe don't know as much about your team as maybe some of the other agencies we had before, so tell us a little bit about your crew and how many of them are here in this area and what you all do.
First off, I appreciate you having us and allowing us to be part of the Salute to Law Enforcement. And our group is, again, we are a state agency. We have approximately 32 staff in Fargo, and approximately 23 of us are licensed. So a lot of people don't know that we are licensed law enforcement, and we do our own law enforcement actions, but also work with our clients that are either on parole or probation.
So your team is all employees of the North Dakota state government instead of local police or county sheriffs or something like that?
Yes, and that's unique to each state, actually. And so North Dakota is a little unique in that we supervise both the parole and probation supervision in the state.
Okay. Are there other agencies across the state who do what you do in the other cities?
No, it's that's what's unique is we are across the entire state, which actually is nice. So if something is going on with one of our clients across the state, or they're coming to another part of the state, we're able to communicate that very quickly, and we're in the same information system to know what's going on.
And what are the functions that your team does? It seems like corrections and rehabilitation, but there's got to be a lot within that. What would you say your mission statement or the kind of focus of your work is each day?
Yeah, our mission is to keep the community safe, but also work with our clients to transition them, whether it's out of prison or out of the county jail, which obviously we work very closely with the court system here in the county and the jail staff. And so doing that, it just takes time, and it depends on where the clientele comes from, and we have each client, depending on their supervision, is assigned appropriately within our office, but now we also have added pretrial to our state agency, which is unique, not unique to other states, but unique to us, and so we keep actually growing and growing our footprint in Fargo.
We've talked quite a bit about the parole side of things, but Department of Corrections, talk about that. Does that mean that you kind of oversee the jail and the incarceration system in the state?
So our department does, but we have 3 divisions. We're the parole and probation division. We have our prison division. Then we have our juvenile division. And what's nice is since we're all under the same state agency, we communicate together. And when it comes to the prison side, we're communicating if maybe we're returning someone to prison, whether it's, from the community, it can be parole or probation, or they're communicating to us and helping plan their release, which is very important, and that might be to a halfway house in town or to a residence. But that communication goes on daily.
Yeah, great. So we talked a little bit, the bio about Sherrie, but tell us, just speaking from the heart, what she means to your team.
She means so much to our office. That's why we selected her as the first officer to be recognized for the Salute to Law Enforcement, which we really appreciate. She's been here since '97, doing a difficult role, working with sex offenders. And as you can see, everybody that has showed up here really appreciates Sherrie and what she does for our office.
Well, thanks so much for you, your leadership, your team as well, and for everybody being here today. It's great to have you here with us and to be able to do this with you and your team here today. Brian, isn't it great, this law enforcement community? You learn a little something every time that we do these things, but everybody has a role in making our community safe and vibrant for sure.
Yeah, law enforcement just isn't about being out on patrol. There's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that help keep us safe. So we appreciate every one of you guys.
Yeah, and many of you from the office that's here today from Corrections and Rehabilitation may not know, but Brian's got a background in law enforcement as well and spent some time working with a badge on before he got into this exciting career of being here at Luther Family Ford. So it means something to him as well, and certainly from all of us at Flag Family Media and Fieldstone Group. Our hearts go out to you and our thanks for all that you do. So thanks for being here today and for doing what you do each day. The good folks at Luther Family Ford have donated a $100 gift card to Sherrie today that can be used for services or products here at the agency or at the office here. And I was asking Sherrie ahead of time if there was a particular organization that she maybe wanted to pay that forward to, and you had something in particular that really meant something to you. Share that with us if you would.
Well, because I work with the sex offender specialist, I supervise the sex offenders, so I want it donated to rape and abuse.
Yeah, so Rape and Abuse Crisis Center. So we'll make sure that that definitely gets there to them. So we'll make sure that that certainly happens. I want to say a special thanks. As Sherrie said, she's got a number of family members that are here today as well. And so welcome to all of you who are here supporting her today. And I know you're very proud of her, as we are as well, to have such a great officer here in our community. So welcome to all of you. Sandy's Donuts also saying their thanks. We'll be delivering some goodies here to Luther Family Ford and also to the office as well. We've created an honoree section on our website, am1100theflag.com. You can click on the banner and our homepage, and you'll be able to see all of the honorees in this program that now goes back about 8 years. So we've been doing this for quite a while now. And in the days ahead, we'll be inviting Sherrie to join us on the Need to Know Morning Show with Alex Taylor and Kevin Flynn on AM 1100 The Flag and FM 92.3 on the Flag. And the last thing I always like to say is that at our company, when there's action taken by law enforcement and it makes the news, we give benefit of the doubt to the people who protect and serve the community. We know the training that you go through, we know the work you do, the high risk detail that you have every single day, and it's easy to second guess for those of us that weren't there or didn't have that training. And so we believe in you, we support you, and we thank you for all that you do in our community every day. So once again, before we finish up, would you please join me giving a warm round of congratulations to our honoree today, Sherrie Prochnow. So we're going to take a few pictures here, have a little bit of fun before we finish up, but that'll do it for this month's edition of the Luther Family Ford Salute to Law Enforcement here on AM1100theflag.com. We'll see you here next time.